Good evening. Welcome to the business meeting of the Wall Township Board of Education for June 10th, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Smythe, sunshine announcement and roll call, please.
Yes, this is the Wall Township Board of Education meeting for which adequate notice under the Open Public Meetings Act was provided by a notice to the CoStar, Asbury Park Press, Township Clerk's Office, all Wall Township Public Schools, and the Board Administration Office on January 9th, 2025. Take a roll call. Ms. Adams.
Here.
Mr. Anisio. Ms. Barbiere.
Here.
Mr. Brereton.
Here.
Mr. Buffo.
Here.
Ms. DiGiovanni. Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Wondrak. Here. Mr. Mallon.
Here. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Buffer makes the motion. And a second? Ms. DiGiovanni. All in favor? Aye. Aye. We anticipate being back for public session at 7 p.m. Okay, good evening. Welcome to the June 10th meeting of the public meeting of the Wall Township Board of Education. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Smythe, can you call the recall for reconvening to public session?
Take a roll call, Ms. Adams.
Here.
Mr. Adenizio. Here. Ms. Barbier.
Here.
Mr. Brereton.
Here.
Mr. Buffa.
Here.
Ms. DiGiovanni. Here. Mr. Smith. Here. Mr. Wondrak. Here. Mason Adam.
Here.
Megan Cappy.
Here.
Aaron Ritchie.
Here.
Michael Southwell.
Here.
Mr. Mouth.
Here. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Hanahan.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Maliff. To start off tonight's program, I'd like to welcome our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Jennifer McCann. She is going to be sharing some really special honors that some of our students had earned this year. So, thank you, Ms. McCann.
Good evening. Every year, the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese, AATSP, hosts a national poster contest inviting students to showcase their creativity across multiple forms of media. This year's theme was celebrating our roots and cultures in the heart of the universe. One outstanding poster was selected to represent Wall Township Public Schools in the AATSP State Poster Contest. And we are thrilled to announce that John Pastor, a fourth grade student at West Belmar Elementary School, won first place in the state of New Jersey in the grades 3 through 5 hand-drawn category. John's artwork went above and beyond in capturing the heart of the theme, and we could not be more proud of this incredible achievement. Congratulations, John. In addition to his artistic talent, John is a well-rounded student. He plays the cello in the school orchestra, is a member of the Wall soccer team, an avid chess player, and a dedicated Pokemon card collector. John also has a deep appreciation for culture and history. He has traveled extensively, including visits to his heritage countries of Ecuador and Peru, and he loves spending time in museums. Please join us in celebrating John Pastor for his creativity, dedication, and excellence. We are truly proud to have him represent Wall Township. We have one more student to recognize. Every year, Wall High School participates in the National Latin Exam, sponsored by the American Classical League and the National Junior Classical League. This year, we were joined by over 100,000 students in all 50 states and the District of Columbia, as well as 20 other countries, including Australia, Belize, China, Italy, Hong Kong, and Japan, just to name a few. The National Latin Exam awards certificates and medals based on the annual national average for each separate exam. This year, the beginning Latin exam was particularly challenging with a national average of 27 out of 40 correct. Despite this difficulty, every one of our Latin 2 honors students scored higher than the national average, and all achieved awards. Most remarkably, however, was one of our students, Avelina McInnes, achieved a perfect score of 40 out of 40. This has only been accomplished by 5 students in the past 30 years at Wall High School. Avelina is not only an extremely proficient Latin student, but she also displays academic excellence across the board. She is a member of the marching band, the jazz band, the golf team, FCA, the engineering academy, and has been on the high honor roll every marking period. We are very proud of Avelina, and we know she has so many incredible accomplishments in her future. Congratulations.
Now, I'm sure you can understand why we dragged these 2 amazing students out to a board meeting in June. The awards and the recognitions are just too special to let the school year end without giving them the proper recognition. Clearly, they are some of our school district's finest, and we are so proud of them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Next up is really kind of bittersweet for me, and it happens every year, and it's when we say thank you and farewell to our amazing student representatives to the Board of Education. They are amazing individuals, and I, for one, am going to miss them. Especially earlier on in the year, we spent a lot of time together, kind of getting the rhythm down. But one of the highlights for, I think I can speak for the whole board, is to really see just the development of you guys throughout your senior year. You walk in, you're fresh off a junior year, and here you are. We're so proud of you. The 4 of you have done such amazing things during your time in the school district, let alone the 4 years at the high school. And I, for one, could not be more proud. And I cannot wait to hear about all the wonderful things that you're doing after high school. So I better have a knock on the door from the 4 of you come Thanksgiving break. So is that a promise? Yes? Yes. Okay. All right. Because the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I'm going to see some good smiles. Or if not, it's going to have to wait for the game. And we're home. So just throwing that out there. Okay. So without any further ado, would Mason Adam please come forward? And stay here, Mason. Miss Megan Cappy. Miss Erin Ritchie. And you guessed it, Mr. Michael Southwell. All right, we definitely have to have a nice picture for all the memes that we've had this year, so I'll hide the microphone really quickly. Thank you, reps. Now, as bittersweet as it is to say thank you and farewell to this year's school Board of Ed reps, it's also a pleasure to welcome our new board reps to Yep. It is wonderful to welcome them to and share their identities with the Board of Education. So I'm going to ask Mr. Davis to do the introductions.
Thank you, Dr. Hanrahan. So we have two new outstanding Board of Ed reps for next year. Our senior class president, Sophia Kepping, and you want them to come up? All right, so come on up, Sophia. And our student council executive president, Hazel Garot. So, yeah, so welcome them, and I know they'll do a great job next year, and they got big shoes to fill. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Okay, when you get the random phone call this summer from the superintendent's office, it's me. Okay. So it's all good. See you then. And you have to tell me what kind of pizza you like, all right? All right, that'll be a conversation for another day. I think this is going to work out a little better. The next portion of our evening is something that we do every June, and this is an opportunity for the Board of Education to recognize the wonderful service of members of the Wall Township Public Schools community, recognize their service, and recognize their retirement as they move into the next stage in their lives. So, this is, it's, again, bittersweet is the June meeting. I'm incredibly happy for them, and it's a small recognition for all the years of really dedicated service, and I thank them very, very much. It's my pleasure to introduce one of our guidance counselors from Wall High School. He has served in his capacity as a guidance counselor, as an educator at Wall High School for 25 years. Would Mr. Christopher Barnes please come forward?
Congratulations. Thank you, thank you. You want me to stay here?
Yeah, we'll do a big group picture at the end up front.
Mr. Barnes and I actually did a lot of cafeteria duty together over at the high school through my 5 years here, and also some hall duty, and I bothered him countlessly in the guidance office. So thank you for tolerating me, Mr. Barnes. Okay, next it's my pleasure to honor an instructional para from primary school. She has served the district for 19 years, and her name is Carrie Betletsky. Our next dedicated employee is an administrative assistant from Old Mill School, where she has served this district and the students and the families and the educators for 26 years. And her name is Ingrid Butler. Don't worry, Ingrid, I'll come find you. Don't worry about it. Okay, next is a third grade teacher from West Belmar, where she has served the students of Wall Township for 20 years. Paula Dapp, please join us. Our next retiree to be honored is a teacher from Central School, where she worked in Wall Township 30 years. She has served our students for 30 years. Would Tracy Devaney please come down? Next is an instructional para at Wall Intermediate School, where she has worked for the district for 25 years. With Eileen Hockenberry, please come down. Our next teacher is a second grade teacher from Central School, and she has been with the Wall Township Public Schools for 32 years. And her name is Sharon Hudson. From Allenwood School, an instructional para who has worked in the district serving our students, very dedicated service for 4 years. Would Janet Caden please come down? Serving the students of this district for 27 years, it's my pleasure to ask Miss Christina Lemming to join us. She is an intermediate school teacher, and again, she has served our students for 27 years. Our next educator to be recognized is a social studies teacher from the intermediate school, where he has served 26 years serving the students of Wall Township. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Thomas Maliff. Another teacher from West Belmar, where she has served the students of Wall Township for 25 years. Would Ms. Margaret Sloan please join us? Next with us this evening, after serving the students in Wall Township for 22 years, it's my pleasure to introduce a teacher of special education from Wall High School, Ms. Teresa Zegman. Okay, so I believe there's going to be maybe a couple of opportunities, but I would like, there are some people that were not able to be here this evening, and I would still like to mention their name, and some are actually chaperoning our 8th graders on their annual trip, so they cannot be here with us this evening. So I very much wish to congratulate Jason Barris, Beverly Bizzacco, Lorraine Doms, Janice Farrell, Anthony Marion, Mary McGrady, Virginia O'Haney, Marianne Patrone, and also one of our administrators, Mr. Thomas Radu. So I just wish them well, and I congratulate them. My apologies, I missed a part of the chart. Gail Salvatore, Sandra Spagnola, Judy White, Allison Griffith, Carrie Duffy, Joseph Lamberti, and Thomas Llewellyn. Congratulations.
Thank you again. Congratulations to our student achievers and also to all of our retirees. Our very best wishes go with you always. At this time, we're going to have our student representative report. We have Mason Adam, Megan Cappy, Aaron Ritchie, Michael Southwell to give us your report. And if you remember, last meeting, we asked if you would, in your report, if you wanted to give a memory of your days in Wall, that would be appropriate to do at this time. No, you don't have to, but it would be nice if you could do that and include that in your report. So take it away.
Is it all right if we do this at the end? Like the memories at the end after the report? Okay. All right, perfect. On May 27th, Shake It Up Day was a huge success. 36 students enjoyed shadowing Wall High School teachers for the day. The fundraiser raised enough money to cover the cost of the 2 senior prom bids through Project Snowflake. On May 30th, Jaquez Reception Center hosted the senior prom. It was a beautiful night, capped by Sharif Gary and Sarah Lawrence taking the crowns as senior prom king and queen.
On June 3rd, the class of 2025 celebrated their senior night, receiving their yearbooks and decorating tiles to be displayed throughout the school. A big thank you to the TV4 classes for creating a video montage with highlights from the time at Wall High School. Seniors received tickets for chances to win fun prizes, generously donated by the Wall High School PTO.
On June 4th, Wall High School Anti-Bullying Task Force held its first annual color run, and let's just say no one left looking the same as they started the event, except for Mr. Davis, who somehow dodged every flying handful of chalk. Students had a blast sprinting, tossing colored chalk powder, or cheering from the sidelines. Meanwhile, Mr. Hewitt took one for the team, emerging from the event like a walking piece of art. A huge shout out to everyone who participated in making this event a colorful celebration of kindness, unity, and school spirit.
Final exams started on June 6th for all high school students. The seniors will participate in the senior walk through the intermediate school and their home elementary schools on Thursday, June 12th, followed by the senior picnic. We will celebrate the class of 2025 on Friday evening as they take their final bow at graduation. Finally, to wrap it up, we will all share our favorite memories now, starting with Mason.
My favorite memories from being in Wall High School, from Wall schools, are my experiences playing sports throughout the years. I've made some of my best friends playing sports, whether it was baseball, basketball, or football. Being a part of a team or even a club is the best thing about high school.
My favorite memory from Wall High School was deciding to join the swim team. I was so nervous on the first day because it was something I've never done before, but now looking back, I've met some of my best friends on the team, and I couldn't imagine my 4 years without it.
I've had so many favorite memories during my time in the Wall Public School District that it's hard to just pick one, so I'll mention a few. I found some of my best friends playing soccer, basketball, and lacrosse for the school, and developed strong bonds with my coaches as well. I also loved being involved in clubs that gave me the opportunity to speak to elementary and middle school students. I was able to build connections with these kids and share advice to help them through their time at Wall schools. Finally, I want to thank every teacher that I've had for their support and guidance throughout my years. They have helped me become the person I am today.
And finally, my favorite moment has been the summer going into my senior year, when the day after I had a bad injury playing soccer, my whole entire soccer team came to my house to make sure I was doing okay. Even my coaches came to make sure I was okay. Even I had some classmates and teammates from past years come to support me. It made me realize the importance of friendships.
Thank you very much for all you've done for your class, all right, and for the hopefully all of the great memories you've had in the Wall schools. We appreciate your time that you've spent with the Board of Ed and with the community. And at this time, I would invite you and your successors, if you wish, you can stay if you want, as I always say, but if it's not required. So, thank you very much.
Thank.
Take your nameplates.
See you Friday.
At this time, we're going to open the floor for our first public comment. I'll just wait a second for... We're going to open up our first public comment. This is for school-related issues. The board requests that those individuals speaking will be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when making comments, specifically comments regarding individual students and school personnel are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The Wall Township Board of Education bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Speakers should consider their comments in the light of the legal rights of those affected or by identified in their comments and recognize they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. And we please ask you to kindly observe our policy of 3 minutes per speaker. We have a microphone at the top. We have one down here. Ma'am, you're up.
Oh, I'm showing my age if I'm ma'am.
Me too, if I'm referring to you as ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Laura Grayhill-Granelli. I live at 113 Highland Avenue, Neptune, but for some of you who might recognize the name, I have a long history with Wall Township Public Schools, not only as a student, but as a teacher, 40 years. I am here to add my 2 cents to the conversation about the paras. It is always a best practice to have as many eyes as possible on the children during the hours they are in our buildings. It is also best practice to have a connection to their parents and family, as this directly affects how the children are impacted and their ability to perform in school. Missing breakfast, a fight with mom, fighting with your best friend, all can make or break a child's day. During the school year of 2011-2012, I had a new student come into my class. Not only was she new to 5th grade, she was new to the school. After the first month, when I had met mom at Meet the Teacher, and during the first conferences, I felt I had made a good connection, and that if there were ever a need, mom would get in touch. The little girl even made a good friend of someone else in the class that really could use a friend, a 10-year-old who suffered from selective mutism. After the first 3 months of school, I learned from my para, who went each day to the recess field, that the 2 girls in question had formed a great friendship, and the silent classmate was talking up a storm on the recess field. So, armed with that information, I could, over several months, work the student into regular conversations with not only me, but other classmates. Additionally, my para was instrumental in the healing process of my new student. Now, some of you may remember in November of 2011, a young toddler was strapped into her car seat and thrown into the Shark River by her dad. It was a horrible event. It turns out that another important piece of information was also obtained through my para and her regular conversations with the children on the recess field. The student that had just joined Allenwood was the cousin of the toddler. My young student carried the weight of a horrible situation with her every day. Now that I knew the information, I could make sure other students were not discussing it in class, and I could watch for any unexpected change in demeanor from the student. These 2 examples are just 2 of the many instances that I have had where a para is an extra set of eyes and ears and knows a lot more than I do, and I have come to rely heavily on their observations. This year was 1 class. Multiply that by 40 years together. We were able to stop a lot of issues just by working together. and figuring it out. You cannot replace that kind of supervision. It is needed every day without fail. Please revisit your budget and allow this kind of supervision. It is a benefit to all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Reno. I'm a parent of 3 boys at Old Mill. All three of my sons have IEPs, and as a parent and advocate, I'm here tonight deeply concerned by the pattern of curriculum changes and the way parent concerns are being handled. At the last board meeting, parents spoke passionately and clearly, and the response from this administration. Dr. Anahan attended the Central Cape meeting on May 14th and Old Mill Home and School meeting on May 21st, both unannounced. While she did state that she and Mrs. McCain would visit Allowood and West Belmar on May 29th, no formal presentations and data were provided at any of the schools to explain and justify the curriculum changes. Parents continue to voice concern and confusion about these changes. Cutting physical education, technology, and Spanish while satisfying physical ed and health requirements using 7 mindsets during morning minutes. Yet we have been given no clear rationale, no transparent plan, and no data that shows how this benefits our children, especially those with special needs. Meanwhile, Dr. Hanahan continues to refer to misinformation and rumors being spread online. I assume she's referring to the Township Parent Coalition for Student Safety and Wellbeing, a group I founded in early May, and now includes over 500 parents and stakeholders across all public schools. And let me be clear, no one, no parent, teacher, or district employee has been able to identify any misinformation shared in our group, but misinformation has come from this administration. On May 14th, I met with Mrs. McCain, Mr. Steiner, and Mrs. Antonello at Old Mill to discuss my concerns. In this meeting, Mrs. McCain told me a teacher and administrator committee met all the time to develop these curriculum changes. But when I followed up and asked her to document which teachers were involved and when they met, I was told no formal committee exists, just general feedback. Also in this meeting, I asked which districts use 7 mindsets at an elementary level. I was told Manasquan, but when I confirmed with Manasquan staff, I learned it used this program only in grades 5 through 12. When I followed up by email, Mrs. Striner replied, I did not specify a grade. At the May 14th Cape meeting, Mrs. McCain stated that the 7 Mindsets program cost this district nothing. She also said that teachers' opinions were taken into consideration. Both of these statements are false. Members of the coalition is unable to identify any district employee across all Walsh public schools that were made aware of these changes, and all strongly feel it's not in the best interest of our kids. So I must ask, why is transparency so difficult to come by in this administration? I am calling on this board to hold a special meeting with Dr. Hanahan and Mrs. McCain where the full data, rationale, and decision process behind these curriculum changes is shared transparently with the community. Anything less is unacceptable and fails the trust we've placed in you to lead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Leah Bibby. I'm a parent at Central Elementary. I have 1 child there, soon to be 2. Thanks for letting me speak tonight. I sincerely hope you all will answer some of my questions and take what I and everyone has said to heart tonight. I'd first like to touch on the 7 Mindsets program, and that's that collaboration, or not collaboration per se, but with regards to the physical education 150-minute requirements. I'm aware that almost all public schools have implemented an SEL program. If you don't know what an SEL is, it's social and emotional learning. That being said, I'm unable to find any of these schools who are double dipping an SEL program as minutes towards their phys ed health and wellness programs. In fact, in public schools nationwide, SEL programs are either implemented throughout the day in all subjects or as a completely separate subject. I'm not saying an SEL program is not a good idea, but I am saying that an SEL program is not under the umbrella of physical education, health, and wellness. We have not been meeting the 150-minute standard for many years now. Studies by the CDC, along with numerous other legitimate researchers, show regular physical activity improves cognitive function and reduces mental health issues. As another fact I'd like to point out is that the new schedule has homeroom teachers instructing the 15-minute daily 7 mindset program. Homeroom teachers are not licensed to teach physical education, health, and wellness. Only a licensed physical education teacher can instruct and implement the 150-minute minimum state requirement weekly. If you as a board and a district believe otherwise, that means that any licensed teacher in any subject can come in and teach phys ed and health and wellness. We are asking for documentation and proof that the state mandate of 150 minutes per week of physical education, health, and wellness instruction can be instructed by someone other than a licensed K-12 phys ed teacher. Are you able to provide that? Regarding the 7 mindsets, I would like to state I am not against, again, I'm not against an SEL program in our schools. But 7 mindsets, where did this come from? What other schools are using this? These are questions I asked Ms. McCann when she came to Central Elementary. She was not able to provide direct answers for that, only general answers. The author of 7 Mindsets is Scott Schickler. He is not a professional, nor does he have any background in children's social and emotional learning or any type of background in child development of any kind. The Wall Street Journal referred to Scott as a serial and parallel entrepreneur due to the number of businesses he has launched. 7 Mindsets is not an SEL program. It is a self-empowerment program, basically a self-help program. We would like to see a copy of the curriculum that you're planning to follow for this program. If you are unable to provide that, please provide the list of main topics that will be taught. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Lisa Mankler. I'm standing here today as a concerned parent. After the last Board of Ed meeting, when public comment was closed, you tried to deflect and invalidate everything the parents spoke about. You stated that the information we were speaking about was more of a rumor mill on the internet and that we were there were serious inconsistencies in what we were saying. However, you still have not addressed specifics. Majority of what was spoken about was confirmed verbally or in writing. So I'm curious where the inconsistencies lie. You still have not addressed the fact that you're leaving 2 minutes at the end of the day for dismissal. I cannot express more concern for the safety and well-being of the students and adding more to the plates for the teachers and the security staff. You've confirmed that you're cutting technology, firing the part-time lunch aides, and cutting Spanish. You've confirmed you're cutting physical education and replacing it with a social emotional learning program that is built to complement your current curriculum, not replace it. When, and it is definitely when, not if, you get fined for not complying with the law, that will come out of taxpayers' dollars again. Or it seems like it may be cheaper to pay the fine than do what's right for the kids. You've made the decision to pay for a 7 Mindsets program, and I've researched it, it does cost money, and haven't disclosed what that costs our district specifically. Please tell us why it takes precedence over physical movement and other specialties that have been provided to our children for generations. You've confirmed that all 40-minute courses are being cut down to 38 minutes in addition to specials to make room for your morning meetings and what I need session, which again does not include phys ed, which is what my child might need. Your proposed scheduling, including for my incoming first grader, states that he will be in his classroom with straight instruction for 3 hours and 20 minutes with no specials and not a minute venturing out of his classroom. The teachers are already struggling using brain breaks to help, and now you're proposing them to be sitting longer. Kids who are cooped up with no movement or change are prone to behavioral outbursts. What is it going to take for you to see this? my child or someone else's receiving this outburst and getting hurt, it shouldn't come to that. You've confirmed that the lunch shift coverage will include the specialty teachers, so now you've created room for us to lose things like our annual art show that Mrs. Wagner puts on every year. Every bulletin board she puts together, murals she paints in the school and on the windows that bring so much brightness into their days. Will she still have time to do these things, or will she be pulled to cover lunch shifts because of budget cuts? Being silent about the why of the situation creates a vast ability for people to fill in the blanks. You need to be transparent. These are our children, not yours. It's not us versus you. We're here for the kids. And if you are too, then why are we not talking about this? Why are you not explaining what's going on? Because this certainly is not going away. How are these changes benefiting our kids? It only affects the students and teachers. They're the ones in the classrooms, day in and day out, not us, not you. The kids need balance, they need movement, and these teachers need at least a fighting chance in the classroom. You're asking too much of them and it needs to stop. Let them be kids. I want you to also take a minute today to think about my kids and how they are two of many who had to say goodbye to these lunch aids with handmade cards and tears rolling down their faces today, knowing that the district failed them. What needs to be done in order for us to effectively move forward is you need to freeze these changes, keep the current curriculum until we prove the actual benefits, and then it's not just some agenda for budgets. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a printer mishap, so I'm actually carrying around my laptop. I apologize. Hi, my name is Angelique Pinto. I am from Allenwood. I have 3 children in the Wall Public Schools. I'm here out of great concern for the schedule, the curriculum changes the district intends to implement this September in our grade schools. I'm here to call for an immediate moratorium on these changes. Recently, I found out the 7 Mindsets curriculum implementation is a direct outgrowth of a district strategic plan to change the culture of the district following a spate of high-profile student incidents. The objective was to implement a comprehensive research-based wellness program. The curriculum committee made a rec to go with 7 Mindsets. The change is expected to take 3 to 5 years. To allow for a rollout of the 7 Mindset school-based curriculum, the district decided to greatly reduce the exposure of our children to the countless proven and well-documented benefits of gym, unstructured play and recess, music programs, technology, library time, and exposure to foreign language, among other things. So for one, are we to believe we have a district-wide culture problem with our kids? And further, the answer is that they are going to have to go through scripted, synchronized programming in all 4 elementary schools for 15 minutes each morning, and that is more beneficial for the overall health and wellness of our children in comparison to all the things they are having to give up. Has anyone really looked at the 7 Mindsets product? Because I have. It started with a book, 7 Mindsets to Live Your Ultimate Life, written by Scott Schickler and Jeff Waller. Schickler has a BS in marketing and entrepreneurship, and Waller has a bachelor's degree in industrial engineering. All information on the internet I found about 7 Mindsets is provided by 7 Mindsets. It all goes back to their website. You can't really find an independent review, and the article I found was not from a scholarly academic resource, and often found on websites like schoolwire.net, written by an author employed by 7 Mindsets. You can find blog sites with teacher threads, however. Very few are 7 Mindset specific, and those were generally not in favor, and then worse, their expressed concerns were now about being evaluated in their teaching of the 7 Mindset curriculum. By their own admission, 7 Mindset evidence-based practices are derived from clinical foundations, including CBT, MI, DBT, strengths-based, solution-focused, mindfulness, etc. Students are taught psychosocial concepts through a supportive and therapeutic dialogue. We bought a product that is a hodgepodge of frameworks packaged together and marketed as an effective SEL program, checking all the buzzword and ideology boxes. 7 Mindsets threw everything in their recipe, and out pops this product, part of the mindset revolution. I can't believe anyone seriously looked at this program and thought this was the right thing to do, and further, that it puts our children first. It appears to be a perfect PR product, though. I can understand how the district might have been duped, it's marketing genius, and 7 Mindsets is making money hand over fist. But I don't think our kids deserve to be dragged into this. District leadership and BOE, please, please stop these changes immediately. Do your research and move forward in collaboration with our kids, teachers, and parents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Meg Fireman, and I'm a concerned parent from Allenwood. I want to begin by expressing my disappointment in the lack of transparency around the recent curriculum changes. There was no meaningful involvement from parents or teachers, no opportunity to give input or share feedback. That's a missed opportunity, and it erodes trust in the board's decision-making. I've heard directly from a handful of teachers who are just as frustrated by these changes and feel their voices were ignored in the process. Second, the new 2-minute dismissal plan is unrealistic and developmentally inappropriate. Please come to my house and try getting 3 young kids out the door in 2 minutes. You will see it's impossible. Now picture 18 children, all tired and overstimulated, trying to pack up and leave at once. It's not safe. And as Mrs. McCann mentioned in the Allenwood PTG meeting, students ending the day at a special will now be dismissed from the special. When exactly are they supposed to pack up? Is that really how we want them to end their school day? This plan will also delay buses and push back schedules for children with after-school commitments such as dance, sports, and CCD, adding to stress. Third, our special teachers should not be pulled for lunch and recess duties. They're educators, not backup coverage. They deserve planning time and respect for the important work they do. These added responsibilities risk pushing valued educators to leave for roles where they're not expected to manage duties unrelated to their teaching. And as was just mentioned earlier, the elimination of the lunch paras is clearly detrimental, and I urge you to revisit your decision on that. Couple more things. While attention has gone to the loss of gym time, as it should, I also want to highlight another loss, the technology class. My 2nd grader loves it and is already disappointed to hear it's being removed. It was educational, educating, and a highlight of her week. Also, the shift to morning band with no transportation plan in place puts families in a tough spot. I haven't had to deal with this yet due to the age of my children, but I was hoping to participate in the music program when the time comes. With 3 kids in different schools and 2 working parents, coordinating extra drop-offs just isn't feasible. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. Please reconsider these changes, or at the very least, moving forward, include the voices of those most affected by these changes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Erica Sprague, and I live in Wall. I'm the Vice President of the Allenwood PTG, Vice President of the WIS PTO, a former elementary classroom teacher, and a mom of 3. My son will be attending Wall High School next year, my daughter at WIS, and my youngest at Allenwood. The music program in Wall has been essential in my children's education. From all-wall band to jazz and competition bands, they've thrived thanks to dedicated teachers like Mrs. McLaughlin, Mr. Bryant, and Mr. Montalto. But I'm deeply concerned about the future of this program. This year, 88 4th graders and 67 5th graders are enrolled in the elementary band program. Next year, those numbers have dropped to 73 and 45. That's before most parents even realize that they'll have to transport their children themselves twice a week to school. Once they do, I fear that those numbers will drop even lower. At the last Board of Ed meeting, Mrs. Swin spoke about how years ago they switched band to before school and numbers dropped. I'm afraid that these changes will jeopardize our amazing music program, a program that just was named one of the best communities for music education by the NAM Foundation. 2 weeks ago at Allenwood, Mrs. McCann assured parents that they were working on solutions. I questioned her on how she would go about doing this. The orchestra students are offered transportation to the middle school on middle school buses, bus routes that are already in place. The district bus transportation, at least on an elementary level, is a daily problem with at least one bus route late in the morning, afternoon, or both. So how exactly will this work? I'd like to ask the board members, by a raise of hands, how many of you have spent time in an elementary classroom? These changes were clearly made without understanding what it's like to teach 20-plus 5-year-olds. Expecting teachers to get them packed up in 2 minutes is unrealistic. Mrs. McCann suggested that they pack up throughout the day, but that just proves how out of touch this plan is. The bigger issue here is transparency. Teachers are hearing one thing, parents another. We shouldn't have to be detectives to figure out what is happening in our children's daily schedules next year. What is driving these changes? It's not saving money. Replacing our amazing and caring lunch paras with teachers receiving stipends doesn't save money. And now our special area teachers who have degrees in music, art, Spanish, and physical education will be supervising recess instead of teaching the subject that they love. If even one group was happy with these changes, that would be one thing, but parents and teachers are all upset. Students will be too once they experience these changes. It's June 10th. School starts September 4th. There is still time. I'm asking you, please hit the pause button. Let's reevaluate this plan, involve teachers, parents, and students. I've already suggested a focus group to Mrs. McCann. I would gladly serve on one to help find a better solution for everyone.
Hi, my name is Haley Sprague, and I am a third grader at Allenwood Elementary School. I am a mindset mentor, and I think we should not change anything, because why change anything when anything is perfect as it is? Mr. V, the art teacher, loves his job teaching art to the kids. He does not want to be doing recess and being a lunch para. Miss Georgie, my lunch para, loves her job as a lunch para and does not want to lose it. She loves the students so much, she came to our third grade wax museum and listened to all the students' speeches. I do not want to lose Miss Georgie as my lunch para, and the other classes don't want to lose their lunch paras. The special area teachers love the students, but they do not want to have a different job. Also, the kids need breaks of learning. They do not want to have fewer gym days. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Brian Wallstein, and I am a 6th grade student at Wall Intermediate. I have a younger sister who's in elementary school, and I'm really upset to hear about the changes that you are planning for next year and the negative impact these will have on my sister and other elementary school students in Wall. I've heard that you're planning to reduce gym class from 3 days to just 2 days each week for elementary school students. I think that having gym at least 3 days a week is essential to a young child's learning. Gym class allows us to get out from behind a desk and move our bodies. It teaches us about sportsmanship and pushes us to challenge ourselves physically. As an energetic kid, even on days that I used to have gym and recess, I still found myself wishing I had more time to stretch my legs during the school day. Having gym for less than 3 days is a terrible and outrageous idea and is going to make it even harder for kids to sit still and focus for a whole school day. Students would be better behaved in class if they had more opportunities to move and play, not less. Also, eliminating the positions of the paraprofessionals that look after the kids during lunch and recess isn't fair. I loved the lunch paras when I was at Allenwood. They're so nice and really get to know every student. They're an important part of our school family. They made recess fun and cheered us on when we would play games. If there aren't as many paras, I don't know how they would keep an eye on so many kids and make sure everyone is safe. I understand that teachers can help out during lunch and recess, but they don't get a break during the day. And let's face it, our teachers need a break too. The last thing I want to mention is how important the Wall music programs are to me. I've been part of the orchestra program since 4th grade, and it's been a great experience for me, especially now that we get to practice during school every day at Wall Intermediate. I was able to participate in elementary school because we had buses picking us up before school practices. My friends in the band practice during the school day. If band practices are moved to before school, those students should be able to take a bus too. Otherwise, some students who want to learn and play a band instrument may not have a ride to the school because their parents work or other kids at home need to be put on a bus. It is wrong to make it harder for kids to participate in band and orchestra. Please listen to what we have to say and don't make these changes for the elementary school next year. It would be a big mistake. Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment?
Betsy Cross, I live in Wall. Yeah, disappointed with these changes that you're looking to do. And every time I hear something from another parent, I just can't figure it out. It's no surprise that you've all been given a vote of no confidence. It went to Tracy Handerhan, Jennifer McCann, and it went to Mr. Smythe is on there, Brian Smythe, and all 9 Board of Education members, Kathleen Giovanni, Dee Giovanni, Ralph Adonisio, Cody Smith, Samantha Adams. Athena Cornell is the board attorney. She's not on it, but I just want to mention her name. Thomas Buffa, Ken Wanderak, Marin Barberi, James Bredeton. Speaking from, my son, I brought up the issues that he had with the helpfulness of the lunch aids. I can't speak more highly of it. Music program, my son was just hired for his 2nd professional contract on his 21st birthday. That was due to starting trumpet in the 3rd grade, going into 4th by Carol Schwinkowski, by having Mr. Bryant, and having the Hollanders in his early years in high school. So you're really going to hurt your own program. And I think it's really, really sad that I see the Hollanders on the agenda as retiring, but you didn't even mention their names. I mean, it's a sad, sad world up here. I could not be happier that we have 3 really good parents that are going to run for the board, and they will go against Kathleen DiGiovanni, James Maliff, and the 3rd is Ralph Adonisio. So we got to get people on this board that are working for the kids, because you guys are not. It's really sad. I also want to bring up policy 5756. I brought it up in January, February, March, April, May, and it's now June 10th. 14 school districts have abolished policy 5756. We don't need a transgender policy. Every child here should be treated properly. We don't need to have a policy for this. We don't need to allow boys in girls' sports. We don't need to allow the boys in the girls' bathrooms. We don't need it. We don't need this policy. Spring Lake Heights, Deal, Edison were some of the new towns that have abolished it, while I just get blank stares month after month. I see in the referendum we've spent almost $21 million on air conditioning, and the air conditioning still just never seems to work in here. Where has that money gone? We have spent so much on air conditioning. Is this room air conditioned? Do you just not turn it on? I want to know about that. I also would like to know about the Business and Finance Academy. Somebody stopped me on the way in and said, wow, I really loved your comment about having the kids from the Business and Finance Academy work on the budget. It's so simple, but why won't we let them? Because there's so many problems with the budget, we can't let them look at it. Because they would question their teacher, why are there so many fiscally irresponsible decisions made? We can't spend $48,000 for a family for health benefits. We cannot afford to do it. We can't spend $66 million on a referendum when our last update was in January, and then there's one in June. What happened to February, March, April, May, June? We're going to be so transparent, Mr. Buffa. Mr. Adoni.
Please address the chair. And Ms.
Mr.
Cross,
Maliff.
please conclude your remarks.
Yep. So I wanted to mention that. Yeah, this.
You'll have another opportunity,
Jim,
Ms.
right, you didn't cut anybody else off,
No,
so
and
I really don't
and
appreciate.
I gave you an extra minute.
being-
I've given you an extra minute.
Right.
Please
And
conclude.
did
Please
you-
conclude.
Right. I do not want to see Jim cut down 3 days to 2 days. My husband reminded me when he went to Wall, he had Jim 5 days a week in elementary school. Your 7 mindsets is not working, and all these parents did a wonderful job about doing and digging and get this information. We should not have to be the detectives. You need to do your job, and you're not doing it. There should be a pause on everything that you have tried
Okay,
to
thank you,
implement.
Mrs. Cross.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dean Scardino. little nervous, first time speaking in public, but I went to Wall. I had gym 5 days a week, and it wasn't enough. I was always hyperactive, and I feel by getting rid of gym, it's really gonna hurt people, especially my son. He's like me. He's got a lot of energy. He's a kid. What did you guys do growing up? I mean, you guys, 5 days, no Spanish, get rid of Spanish, fine. But keep gym, and please keep the paras, because kids fight, kids choke, and if there's not somebody there to help, I don't know what's gonna happen, and you guys do not want a lawsuit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Allison Connolly, and while I reside on Sioux Street in Wall, I am here tonight in my capacity as the proud president of the Township of Ocean Education Association, per the request of the WTEA president, Gail Marr. She and her executive committee could not be here this evening as they are chaperoning a trip, and they asked me to deliver a message on behalf of the WTEA, so forgive me as I read Gail's words. The Wall Township Education Association is also a parent group, but first and foremost, we are the voice of educational professionals, and work is fundamental to the WTSD. We accept this profound trust placed in us. Our vision is a great public school for every student with a mission to advocate contractually and emotionally for every member. We believe a partnership with the community and all stakeholders is essential to quality public education. Our ultimate goal is to advance and protect the rights, benefits, and interests of the members and promote a quality system of public education for all students. We deliver curriculum and we follow schedules chosen and developed by the administration of the district, and we always have. Last year, there was a major schedule change at the high school. Our leadership at the high school would say we should have had ongoing meetings this year to address how to tweak the things that fall out of a new schedule. We are officially asking for that process to be put in place at the elementary level now. We do worry that there are 2 major schedule changes occurring September 1st, but we know that each new initiative has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Teachers now have what they contractually had from a prep standpoint, but in the past they have had more than what was contractually given. We expect to work with central office if the workload issues occur. You can't fix problems that have not occurred, and we will grieve problems when they occur, not gripe about them before they happen. Our concern still remains with losing the lunch paraprofessionals. We believe it is a mistake, and just because other districts don't have that position does not mean that we don't need it. It's a safety issue, an SEL issue, and potentially a bullying issue. Students will not tell a teacher in the cafeteria on Monday that they are having a problem because a different teacher is there on Tuesday when the problem grows larger. Whether this is truly the only way central office could solve a budget deficit, we will never know. But we do believe that lunch paraprofessionals may return because mistakes do get fixed in Wall Township Public Schools. Regarding a vote of no confidence, been there, done that. It took 15 months to build up the problems that were occurring and to get a 2018 vote of no confidence vote after every effort by both the WTEA and the WTASC. No one can come to a decision about a vote of no confidence in 2 months, especially when no change has even occurred. Do we always agree with the decisions made at central office? No. But do we have a voice at the table when things aren't working? Yes. Central office and the board have worked with the WTEA for the last 5 years, and a vote of no confidence is preposterous, and we have seen no changes occur that would warrant that type of action. So on behalf of Gail Marr, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Connors, Wall Township. Just want to hear, I'm backing up the families that are speaking about the changes in the elementary level, and I'm going to speak as a parent of 3 children that went through elementary and now completed Wall Intermediate School, and 1 finished the high school. I have 2 in Monmouth County vocational schools. What I want to say is that there are plenty of studies, probably a plethora of studies that you can find, that students that are exposed to and are challenged through foreign language and music excel in their other areas of testing. I don't know that you can find the same for 7 mindsets. I know that our test scores have been dropping, and we have been falling below the Monmouth County as well as the state and national levels. So whereas I normally would always support Mrs. Steiner because I think very highly of her, I am concerned that test scores will be affected. Instead of pushing 7 mindsets daily, why don't we do assemblies? Why don't we do quarterly assemblies or monthly assemblies? But why push it daily? Why don't we push these children to foreign language? Why don't we push the children to music? Why don't we encourage them to learn other ways of expressing themselves? Expression through physical activity or musical activity help you across the board. I had recently, or actually this past year, the opportunity to visit my daughter in college where she performed on a collegiate level in an orchestra. We offered to make a donation to the university's music program because it's completely volunteer and what's it called? Sorry, I'm getting nervous. It's a non-audition, it's walk-on. And they told me no. Please go to your local board and beg them to increase your music program. Do not decrease. Don't give us money, beg for more time in the curriculum for music. So that's what I'm doing. I'm begging for more music, more foreign language, help the children in ways that will be seen the rest of their lives. They could play a violin the rest of their lives. They're not going to be on a softball field or a basketball court the rest of their lives. We have beautiful, overachieving students that prove it to you tonight, sitting right in front of you. Support them. Support our children.
Thank you.
Good evening, Christine Stites, Wall Township. At this celebratory time of the year, I felt compelled to speak as the mom of a 2024 graduate and a soon-to-be graduate of the class of 2025. It's been my pleasure to hear of freshman success stories as kids have returned home from colleges across the country. I had the thrill of contacting a 2024 graduate last week for plumbing services and was thrilled to see him doing so well. And I'm excited to note that the upcoming class has kids attending colleges and universities that meet their goals and expectations, that we're recognizing graduates pursuing careers in the military, and young people who are choosing to enter the workforce with enthusiasm. Wall Schools continues to serve the many and varied needs of our diverse and multifaceted student population. As you can imagine, it has been a very busy few weeks in the house of a graduate. My mom flew into Newark today at 3:30. But instead of staying home, I'm here to touch base with my fellow community members and to support my former board members and the administration of our school district. I have been saddened to watch recent meetings and observe social media postings denigrating our superintendent and hostile criticism of board members. While it is certainly an American's right to speak, it hardly reflects the positive culture the board has worked for years to establish. And I think what bothers me most is I genuinely believe that a great deal of vitriol and anger is based on a series of misinformed and misguided communications that were prematurely sent to families by staff ahead of the district's rollout. Now, what I don't think a lot of people realize is that the Board of Education gets together, 9 people, only in a public setting. They're not sitting somewhere behind closed doors discussing this. These things can get discussed in meetings, and they're also broken down in committees. These are volunteers. These are your neighbors. These are people that live in town.
Don't call out, please.
I'm going to address whoever I want. Excuse me, I'm certainly not speaking to you, Mrs. Cross. And the sad thing is, who am I? So I'm the former
Don't call out,
president of the
please.
Board of Education. I'm a president and vice president of the Old Mill Home and School for 4 years. I was a president of the Wall Intermediate School, co-president. So I have done tremendous amounts of work, volunteer, within this district. I understand how unusual, because I have sat on the opposite side of this board when previous superintendent had suggested charging the PTOs to have facility use and pay custodial fees when we fundraised for our own students. So I understand how unusual this dynamic is, but I just want to point out that we are working with volunteers who come to committee meetings several times a month, budget workshops several times a year, ad hoc committees, general Board of Education meetings, and support our students at any number of events throughout the year, at the Central School Sing, at the Business and Finance Academy graduation. They'll be at the graduations this week. These are our community members. A couple of things that I can tell you that I think are
Ms.
potentially
Seitz, please
incorrect.
bring your remarks to a conclusion, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
I don't think anybody ever wanted to lose our paraprofessionals. They have always been kind and outstanding members of our schools. Unfortunately, when you look at the budgetary issues that have to be looked at, it is not reasonable to suggest that the schools would keep folks in when we have certificated staff who, by the contract that they negotiated, they have the ability to be supervising our kids at lunch. And FYI, our teachers at the middle school and the high school do lunch duty. It's not beneath anyone. It's an opportunity to partner with your kids.
Thank you, Ms.
I'll
Thank
be
you, Ms.
back for
Seitz.
the second comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Seitz. Do we have anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, I'm going to close public comment at this time. We will have a second. We will have a second public. Please don't call out, sir.
You had the opportunity to present your comment uninterrupted. Please give other people the same courtesy. Thank you.
Okay, there are no special presentations tonight. We're going to have the President's report. Last month, I neglected to mention the names of the April students of the month. I'll be happy to do that now. For grade 9, Elizabeth Campanile. Grade 10, Bella Sorello. Grade 11, Michael Copland. Grade 12, Jesus Chavez Fernandez. Nights of the week, grade 12, Sophia Burnell. For the week of 4/1/25. For 4/7, Jalen Miller. For 4/22, Caroline O'Hara. For 4/28, Michael Bullard. For 4/28 also, Shane Heinel. And also for 4/28, Landon Hickey. Students of the month of May, for grade 9, Avonlea McGinnis. Megan Farrell, grade 10. Grade 11, Gabrielle Fajardo. And grade 12, Kira Leonard. And nights of the week, grade 11 for 5/5, Sean Rosenfeld. Grade 9, Lila Gant. Grade 9 for 5/12, Mackenzie Williams. Grade 12, Brandon Risco for 5/19. And for 5/26, Chloe Ketchum. A couple other things I'd like to mention. Last week at the New Jersey Track Meet of Champions, we had a junior, I believe a junior, Callie Buxbaum, placed 5th in the 1,500-meter run. And that's out of all of the runners in the entire state of New Jersey, not just a section or a group, that's the entire state. New Jersey has one of the strongest track and field competitors of any state, so that's a tremendous accomplishment for Callie. I congratulate her. I was also here this past week for the high school band concert, which was hosted here in this room. Because of the refurbishments to our high school auditorium. It was an excellent show. I congratulate Mr. Hollander and all of the members of the jazz band, the symphony band. It was an excellent performance. I'm looking forward to being able to see these same performances next year in our new high school auditorium. I would also again like to extend my congratulations to all of our retirees, those who were here tonight and those who could not be here. The district thanks you very much for your great participation and your contributions to our students over the years. I also now want to wish the best of luck to all of our graduates. We are having our graduation on Friday. Wall Intermediate School and Wall High School graduations will take place this Friday afternoon and early evening. I also want to congratulate our pre-K graduates who had a graduation, I believe, yesterday. Okay. And also all of our elementary students in our 4 elementary schools who are going to be moving up, the vast majority of them to our intermediate school. And that's about as big a jump as, if not even a bigger jump than going from the intermediate school to the high school. So I wish them the best of luck as well. At this time, I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Hanrahan.
Thank you, Mr. Maliff. Good evening. I would like to once again thank our student representatives, Mason Adam, Megan Cappy, Aaron Ritchie, and Michael Southwell for joining us this evening and for all of their service throughout the year. Best wishes to them as they begin their next chapters. And as I mentioned earlier, I do hope that they keep in touch. Again, congratulations to Avonlea McGinnis and John Pastor for their outstanding academic performances. To all of the retirees, I bid you great health and great happiness as you begin your next journey. On this evening's agenda, we will accept additional retirement resignations. I offer congratulations to them, and the board will be reaching out to invite them to another meeting for formal recognition for all of their years of service. Congratulations to the class of 2038 as they graduated from Wall Primary School this week. Congratulations to Ms. Bagarosa and the primary school staff on an amazing job preparing them for kindergarten. And a big, great congratulations to the Wall Intermediate School and Wall High School classes of 2025 as they engage in commencement exercises this week. Let's all hope that we have great weather. In accordance with the Individuals with Disabilities Act, each state is required to report annually to the public on the evaluation of each local education agency, aligned to the state performance plan and annual performance report. The IDEA Part B regulations require states to make annual determinations regarding the performance of each LEA using the following categories: meets requirements, needs assistance, needs intervention, and needs substantial intervention. We are happy to report that once again, Wall Township meets requirements due to the number of points earned on the local special education profile. Congratulations to our Special Services Department. Our total district enrollment numbers for May 2025 are as follows: pre-K 80, kindergarten 228, first grade 225, second grade 233, third grade 248, fourth grade 236, fifth grade 279, sixth grade 237, seventh grade 253, eighth grade 260, ninth grade 219, 10th grade 215, 11th grade 249, 12th grade 235, and that gives us a total enrollment of 3,197. There are some things that I would like to discuss that took place at the last Board of Education meeting. Based on some of the public comment, it appears that some attendees from the last meeting were under the impression that the Board of Education was voting on a new elementary schedule. A new elementary schedule was not on the agenda because it is not something that would be on an agenda for a board vote. The Board of Education hires a superintendent of schools to manage the district. Provided a teaching schedule fits within the parameters of a collective bargaining agreement, the schedule is at the discretion of the superintendent of schools. So please understand there will not be a board vote on a new schedule. I feel it is worthwhile to share some information with the public regarding the role of the Board of Education and the role of the superintendent of schools. A Board of Education is made up of elected or in some cases appointed, in the event there's a vacancy, resident volunteers. They do not receive any compensation. They willingly give their time so that they can collectively work towards providing students of their community with the best education possible. Major duties of a school board include the hiring of a superintendent, evaluating the superintendent, and setting board policies. The superintendent is evaluated on district goals, which are a direct outgrowth of the strategic plan, which was designed with community input. These goals with supporting objectives drive the actions of the school district across the pre-K through 12 continuum. Administrators, faculty, and staff work together throughout the year to make progress towards or meet these established targets. New initiatives, curricular planning, budgeting, etc., trace back to the district goals and objectives. Central office administrators report out on progress twice a year. In February, we provide a mid-year report on our progress, and the end-of-year update takes place during the summer. All of these yearly updates can be found on our website. The district goals and objectives with accomplishments is a very detailed document prepared and posted each year. I invite all to spend some time reading this material. There you will see many references to trainings, meetings, and implementations. As superintendent of schools, it is my responsibility to manage the operations of the school district. When a school board searches for a superintendent, the goal should be to hire someone with a great deal of experience in education, one who is well versed in school law, curriculum, budgeting, and operations management. Essentially, a superintendent candidate's professional experience is important to the job because so many decisions need to be made each and every day. While I think it is a great thing to elicit feedback from stakeholder groups when appropriate, such as community feedback sessions and surveys during the strategic planning process, please understand that a school district cannot be effectively managed by consensus. I was hired for this position because I had a great deal of professional experience and training in areas that were identified as community priorities during the last superintendent search. I continue to hear from some parents that they believe the decision to eliminate the part-time lunch paraprofessionals from next year's budget should have been made with community input. I ask you to take a few seconds to play that out in your mind. What would that have looked like? While some members of the community are not happy with the reduction in force decision, some members of the community shared with me that they believed it was very appropriate and fiscally prudent. This is just one of the many examples of how public school leaders must balance the different views in their school communities. Another example is the new elementary school schedule. There are some members of the school community that have vocalized their disagreement with the new elementary schedule. Yet some parents and teachers have communicated to me that they are pleased that the students will have additional instructional time in reading, writing, and mathematics. Members of communities regularly offer differing points of view. That is why it is so important to have school district leaders with a great deal of professional experience, training, and a track record in implementing evidence-based practices. Some decisions need to be made at the administrative level. The reduction in force of part-time lunch paraprofessionals and the new elementary schedule are such decisions. There is a perception that the elementary school schedule was made in a vacuum without any input from stakeholders. I can see that perception from both sides, so I will just state the facts. There were curricular disparities between the 4 elementary schools. I believe that all of our students, regardless of assigned elementary school, should have the same curricular opportunities. This needed to change. As most of the school community is aware, the district moved to implement evidence-based reading instruction practices, namely using the science of reading methodologies. Elementary teachers received a great deal of training, and for the last 2 years, many of our elementary teachers have asked administrators for more instructional time to implement these new practices with the utmost fidelity. We needed to find more time. That this needed to change. After reviewing a great deal of internal data, given our demographic, I believe our students can achieve more academically. This needed to change. There were great disparities between prep or unassigned periods throughout the K-5 teacher schedules. The collective bargaining agreement requires that every elementary teacher is provided with a minimum of 6 periods of non-student contact time or prep time a week. Some teachers have been provided with 7, some with 8, some with 9, and some have 10 or more non-instructional periods during the week. To be blunt, I do not think this is fair. This inequitable practice needed to change. During cold weather or rainy weather, when students had indoor recess, in most cases they spent recess in their classrooms and did not have access to the gymnasium. I believed that that, too, needed to change. Elementary teachers are not afforded the opportunity to receive extra compensation like secondary teachers for covering classes when substitute teachers are not available. I don't think that's fair. This needs to change. For the last 2 years, I tasked our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction, Ms. McCann, and her team to work through these challenges. Because when I learned that we are out of compliance, I cannot unlearn that information, and we will work to rectify the issue. What started out as a curricular scheduling discussion quickly became an enmeshed conversation regarding personnel, meaning discussions moved onto confidential topics such as individual teaching certificates, elimination of positions, reductions in force, transfers, etc. Conversations involving these topics cannot and will not be had with parents and teachers. So yes, I would have really loved to have had more curricular dialogue during the past year. However, the reality of the situation precluded that. I invite you to imagine a meeting where teachers are assembled in a room engaged in a conversation rooted around which staff members may be transferred or which staff may or may not be returning next year. With respect to teacher input, I would also like to add that teacher feedback on the elementary school schedule should not only be limited to the elementary school community. A conspicuously absent perspective from this public conversation is the perspective of the secondary teachers. For 5 years, I have had the pleasure of hearing their perspectives and accounts on student progress, and I value their input as well as the elementary teachers' input. Secondary teacher feedback and secondary student work samples have been extremely valuable in identifying needs, which also shape the elementary schedule. It is critical that curriculum decisions are made using a K-12 lens. I have also heard from some members of the school community that special area teachers should not be expected to spend part of their day supervising students at recess or the cafeteria. Having personally spent a great deal of time supervising students in the cafeteria, I take exception to that. Special area secondary teachers, subject area secondary teachers, administrators in this district regularly spend time supervising students in the cafeteria, hallways, bathrooms, etc. It is part of our jobs. In fact, I contend it is a very important aspect of our jobs. Take the cafeteria, for instance. It is a great way to observe student interactions with peers. It is a great time to get to know students in a more casual setting so you can learn more about them. It is an excellent forum to ascertain if the students are having a bad day and if they could use some help from a trusted adult. The observational data collected while supervising students should never be undervalued. With respect to the morning meeting, recognize that morning meeting is an educational best practice that some of our elementary teachers are already using. 7 Mindsets programming is one of the resources that will be used. It is not accurate to say that morning meeting is the 7 Mindsets. It is one of the resources. Know that physical movement is also part of the morning meeting, and some of the health standards will be addressed during the morning meetings throughout the year. As many of you are probably aware, a parent has filed a complaint with the New Jersey Office of Controversies and Dispute regarding the utilization of the morning minutes towards the health and physical education requirement of 150 minutes. The district has been working on a response, and we are cooperating fully with involved state officials. I look forward to a swift resolution. I have received some correspondence from parents on their perceptions of the 7 Mindsets. I invite them, like some have presented here this evening, to become more familiar with the program. I would also like to stress that the implementation of the 7 Mindsets is a direct outgrowth, like that was presented earlier, of the district goals, specifically number 2, the goal which speaks to student wellness. Most of you are probably aware, but some may not be, that a few years back, there was a public outcry for the district to actively combat bullying, harassment, and intimidation. If you weren't aware, I invite you to view some of the archived Board of Education meeting videos. The community spoke. The Board of Education listened and made combating bullying, harassment, and intimidation an absolute priority. We are not yet where we want to be, but we have made some strides in a positive direction. I am just wrapping up my 5th year as superintendent of Wall Township Public Schools. I was hired at a May 2020 Board of Education meeting, and I was hired to be an agent of positive change. During the last 5 years, there has been quite a bit of change in the school district. I understand that change can be difficult for some individuals. Sometimes individuals will vehemently fight for the status quo. I would argue that change can be exciting and may even be invigorating. I am doing what I was hired to do, to be a catalyst for positive change and to lead this district forward. I thank you. Mr. Maliff?
Thank you, Dr. Hanrahan. Board of Education update. Any members of the board wish to make any comments? Ms. Barbier?
I just wanted to add that I got to attend the preschool graduation here yesterday has to be one of the cutest things I think I've ever seen in my life. Tiny tots, little tassels, they were perfection. And I just want to say congratulations to the class of 2038 and wish them well as they become students at Wall Elementary Schools.
Thank you, Ms. Barbier. Anyone else? Mr. Buffa?
Thank you. I just wanted to say, Dr. Hanrahan, thank you for that report. That was an excellent report. And as a parent of 5 Wall Township, either past or present students, I could absolutely see the change that you've made in your time here. So thank you for that. I was able to attend the Renaissance Luncheon, which was another very spectacular Wall Township event at the high school. To see the high honor roll list be, I think, 3 pages long, front and back, was very, very impressive. As somebody who's probably never made high honor roll, that was even more impressive. So that was a great event to attend. And I just really wanted to, speaking for myself, not for the board, but speaking as Thomas Buffa, I've seen and heard the positive feedback from my children regarding the 7 Mindsets programming, and I would definitely encourage the public to take a look back at the previous board meetings, and you could see there were quite a few presentations that took place during those board meetings that really showed the impacts that it's had and what the kids are doing with that program. We spent quite a bit of time, and Ms. Steiner and Ms. Gilvari and the rest of the crew really do a phenomenal job with that, and I thank them for that. And lastly, thank you to all of the Wall Township Public Schools staff, administration. Really another fantastic year, and I'm looking forward to next year, and I hope all the staff and students enjoy their summer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Buffa. Well said. Mr. Smith?
Thank you. I also wanted to just congratulate the retirees today, also specifically Chris Barnes, who is a coach and a teacher of mine. Secondly, on June 1st, I attended the Color Run at Central School that was hosted by Cape. It was a great turnout. All the kids had a great time, including my own. So I just wanted to thank Cape, all the volunteers and teachers, and Mr. Monifus for hosting it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right. Seeing no one else, we're going to move on to committee reports. The minutes are available on the agenda. Any chairman or members of committee wish to make any comments? Okay. Seeing none at that time, we're going to open up now for the second public comment. And again, I ask you please to be cognizant of our policy of 3 minutes. I was a little liberal the first time.
Betsy Cross, I live in Wall. What I don't understand is you gave a president's report, but on your agenda, I think it had superintendent and president report, and you said there wasn't one. So, I mean, that type of report should have been here when people were sitting here, not when half of the people left. That's what you did at the last meeting. It makes no sense. So while you've been here for 5 years, we really haven't seen any type of improvement. Test scores have gone down, and more students seem to be unhappy and be bullied, and you have more and more lawsuits. So there you go. I see you're approving the bleachers, but I never saw where you actually went for bids. So I don't understand that. I also asked for when you went out for quotes instead of bids on the athletic facilities. Nothing came back from Mr. Smythe today, right before the meeting. So I'm going to put that, and I'm going to give you a copy so you have it, and I'd like you to get back to me, Mr. Maloff, on why do we not have proper bids for things. I was there for the bid opening, and this great woman that's running for the board was also there for the athletic bids. I'm glad we were there. The bids have been rejected. The first one was non-responsive. Second one was too high, so you have to go out for new bids. Mr. Smythe did not sign in, and Mr. Buffa did not sign in. So when you have a bid sheet, you're supposed to sign in so we know who's there. Because what happens is when we have like all these problems like we did with the trailers, we can't find the bids and there's no bid sign-in sheet. So the bids get thrown out and there was a problem with the bid. So Mr. Buffa, you work in a school district. I think you got a job very similar to Mr. Smythe, so how you didn't sign in that day, I don't understand. So that's right here. And Mary Jo Michaels also did not sign in, or Sally Jo. So problems with that. So like I said, when we passed this $66 million budget, I see transfers, we're transferring money. And people said, oh, we can't transfer the money. Oh, sure you can, because you have it in your transfer report tonight. And I don't even know if Mr. Buffa knows about it, because he attaches nothing to minutes. So his minutes, again, are horrible. We talk about things in the meeting, and then you attach nothing. So nobody knows what happens. So I'll be glad when you are replaced by the 3 people running on the board, so we could get somebody in here that doesn't work in a school district like you, that has some common sense and is going to write the minutes how they should be with attachments.
Thank you, Mrs. Cross.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone else for public comment?
Thank you. Christine Stites, Wall Township. I apologize for going over my time. I guess just to wrap up, a couple of different points. And again, I don't say this to be controversial with our fellow community members, but I think that when they're under maybe a false impression, we have conflict where there does not necessarily need to be. No one does not value what our paraprofessionals at lunch have brought. But as I mentioned before, when we recognize that some of the roles that they are performing can be performed by folks that are in our schools, that's the prudent and financially responsible thing to do. I would like to mention that I do believe 12 of those paraprofessionals will be rejoining the district in a different position. They were encouraged to apply for other positions. I'm sure the district will be thrilled to have them back in whatever capacity they're here, and possibly more folks will join them. Recess. Recess got thrown in and muddied the waters. At no point in time were any children going to have to choose between band and recess. However, my understanding, if I understand it correctly, is that at recess, they can now have the opportunity to have structured play if they so choose. They can also go off and do chalk or whatever they'd like, or they're going to have an opportunity to do more band, choir, or maybe more art, which is more opportunity for them. This district has always valued music, theater, the arts, and has invested tremendously. The budget has, is searchable. You can see exactly what the budget, what the district spends consistently year after year after year on those programs. To suggest otherwise is just inaccurate. And as far as 7 Mindsets goes, our meetings are all recorded, they're all live streamed. I feel like almost every meeting of 2023 and 2024, we had a presentation on the 7 Mindsets. This is not new. This is our 3rd year with the 7 Mindsets. We have celebrated everything is possible, passion first, we are connected, 100% accountable, attitude of gratitude, live to give, and the time is now. There has been no secret about what the district has been doing with 7 Mindsets. It has been celebrated throughout the district and with events with the community. So I just encourage folks who are feeling frustrated to maybe speak to folks who have some more intimate knowledge, or maybe have older children and have been around, to maybe give you a different perspective so that we go back to being a cohesive district, because I genuinely believe every member of the board who is sitting here is committed to our children, and every member of our administration is committed to our children. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for what you do. I hope everybody has a great summer, and I have truly enjoyed and appreciate the time that my children have spent in the Wall Township Public School District.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else for public comment?
Hi, Leah Bibby, Wall Township. I just want to touch base on my first speaking. Look, I know that this is tough for everybody. You're never going to make everybody happy. I'm on other boards as well, with lots of parents, but I think the biggest frustration that I'm hearing across the board is the transparency issue. When people have questions regarding just support of these new implementations, they're met with blockages or no response. It's very frustrating for parents. We want to be on board, but we don't know what's going on. And so when we ask questions and we're met with silence, we're left to determine our own answers. And I just wish that there would be more information given, or at least more responses given to some of the questions. I am not against, like I said, I'm not against an SAL program. I think that those are great. Everyone does them. Also, just so you know, my bachelor's degree is in K-12 licensure phys ed. So a lot of these questions that I have come from an educational background. I was a 4-year member of the Colorado AFERD Association. I was a 5-year member of the National AFERD Association. And when I moved to New Jersey, even though I wasn't able to find work because it was the recession of 2008, I was also a member, even though I wasn't teaching at the time, of the New Jersey AFERD Association. At the end of the day, I think we need to just talk more, and we need to, I think the honesty is really, we're feeling that you're not honest. And that's probably not the case, but we have no other way to know because you stay silent. So I just urge you, people have questions. I understand you can't answer all of them, HR stuff, I get that, but some you can. I just urge you to just try to talk with us because we're all in different boats. My kids are different from other people's kids. And you know, what might work for mine might not work for others, but I want to hear about it and I want to find out what we can do to, if there's anything we can do. I just think there needs to be more talking and transparency. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Colleen McCormick of Sawmill Lane. I come just to echo my previous statements from the last board meeting, as well as those said here tonight. I understand that the board has a thankless job. I am appreciative of the time and sacrifice you have made, but look forward to a changing of the guard, so to speak, with the 3 members that are openly going to run. My personal concerns are with Dr. Handerhan and Mrs. McCann. I'm hopeful after hearing Dr. Handerhan say she is openly talking with the NJDOE and may adjust the schedule accordingly. I would like to also go on record stating that she has been presented with 2 laws, and if this schedule, as it is presented to us now, goes into effect, she is knowingly breaking the law. I'm also patiently awaiting answers to my latest email regarding the 7 mindsets concerning funding and the data supporting its use at the elementary level. Even though 7 Mindsets is only going to be part of the morning meeting and health is going to be incorporated during that time, it is still violating that law. Instead of more talk, swift and meaningful consequences should come first, followed by restorative practices like SEL or 7 Mindsets, instead of a slap on the wrist and a sweep under the rug. 7 Mindsets is not new. We do know this. However, it has morphed into something bigger and is now taking away from required subject areas like health and phys ed. I did not plan on speaking tonight, so this was hastily prepared, so I do appreciate you giving me my time and look forward to being a more proactive member in the strategic planning in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else for public comment? Okay. Seeing no one else, I'm going to close our second public comment. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion. Yes, excuse me, Mr. Smythe.
Just in response to public comment to try to clarify some of the inaccurate statements. With regard to the items on this evening's agenda with regard to the referendum project, we did receive bids on June 3rd. There is a resolution that is rejecting the bids. We had one bidder that was non-responsive and one second bidder who was over budget. Both are indicated within the resolution that is included on tonight's agenda. We also have on the agenda is the approval of bleachers. The reason why the bleachers are being approved is because of the long lead time for the delivery of those bleachers. The bleachers were not put out to public bid. They are being purchased as stated within the resolution on the agenda, that they are being purchased under a cooperative purchasing program, which is one of the available options for school districts to make purchases. School districts have the ability through New Jersey Public Contracts Law to go out to bid. They could be purchased under state contract, which is purchasing done by the state that has put it out to bid, or through a cooperative purchasing program where another entity has put that project or put that item out to bid. This purchase is being made under a national cooperative, which is one of the allowable methods of purchasing for the school district. With regard to OPA requests, we receive a number of OPA requests. We have responded. Just give an indication for the current year, we have received 90 OPA requests for the 24-25 school year. All 90 have received a response. 89 are identified as complete, and 1 is pending a response from the initial requester, and if no response is received, that one will be closed out as well. District has provided 18,202 pages of documents in response to those 90 requests. When a request is overly broad and we can't reasonably identify what exactly an individual may be requesting, then we are permitted to respond in that fashion that it is overly broad and that we cannot provide documents that are responsive to an overly broad request. And I also want to clarify with regard to, again, the statements being made, all the problems with bids. There are, in fact, no problems with bids. There has not been problems with bid. There has been a total misunderstanding of the procurement laws for school districts in the state of New Jersey. Again, districts are not required to go out to bid for every purchase being made. Again, I will state, they can be made under state contract, they can be made under a cooperative purchasing program, they can be put out to bid, or if they were below the bid threshold, they can be quoted by the school business administrator or the purchasing agent for the district, which is one and the same. Lastly, with regard to the statement as far as transfer of monies, it was stated that the district will not be transferring money with regard to the referendum funds. That is correct, and we are precluded by law to transfer money from the Capital Projects Fund, Fund 30, related to the referendum funds. Transfers are permitted within the projects of the referendum, and those are the transfers that take place and have taken place since we started the referendum work. However, there has been no transfers from the referendum funds to our general expenses, which is would not be permitted. So I just want to clarify that for future reference. If anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smythe. No comments, please. All right. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda for items 12 through 19. Can I have a motion? Ms. DiGiovanni, a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Brereton, roll call. Mr. Smythe, please.
Mr. Anizia? Yes. Ms. Barbier?
Yes, but I would like to abstain from the HR report 16A, section 6, items 59, 92, 138, and 177.
Noted. Mr. Brereton?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. DiGiovanni? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak?
Yes.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Mallon?
Yes, with the following abstentions. Number 16, Roman numeral 6, number 71, and Roman numeral 10, attachment 5.
Noted.
Okay. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Wondrak, a second. Ms. DiGiovanni, all in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
We are adjourned.